What's up guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a review on my 2020 Intense Tracer. We're going to be going over the good, the bad, the modifications that I made. So stay tuned and let's get to it. Alright guys, so for starters, the bike is a size large and it's an expert build. I bring up the size because I'm 5'9". I usually ride a size medium, but I ended up going with the size large just because the medium felt a little too small. Because I went with the size large, the only thing that I had a problem with was the reach. I felt like I was way out in front of my front tire. It just didn't feel right. So the first modification that I made was the Renthal Apex stem. It's a 35 mil stem compared to the 50 mil that it comes with. So I'm way further back. I have T-Rex arms to begin with, so it just helped out a ton. And because I did that, I just ended up pairing it with the Renthal Fat Bar Carbon. It's a 780 mil length, which was actually 800. We cut it down to 780, and then the 35 mil rise. So with those two things, it made a huge difference, and the bike feels a lot better. The only other two things that I did were the rev grips and the HTT1 pedals. I actually brought those over from my old bike, and then I got a new set of rev grips for this bike. I had them on my previous Patrol, and I love those grips. So as soon as I just threw them on here, it felt like I was at home again, and that's a cockpit setup. So this thing's dialed. Everything else is stock on the bike. So for the expert build, it comes with the 36 Performance front and then the X2 in the rear. And I haven't had any issues. I run 25% sag both front and rear, and I set it once, haven't touched it since. The only thing I think I need to do is throw a token up front, because when I do big hits or bigger trails, I blow out through my suspension a lot quicker. So that might just be something I need to look into. Second thing I would point out that's good on this bike is the brakes. So from riding super steep trails like Intense, to riding my local stuff. Whoa! Woo! I haven't had any issues with the brakes. They haven't faded out on me, and they're just this cheap Shimano, I don't even know what they're called, but they're solid brakes. The third thing I would point out is the NX drivetrain. I came off the XX1 on the Patrol, and the NX has been super good. It shifts crisp. The only issue I had was the derailleur, but that's because I crashed and I bent it, so I just replaced it. But I haven't had any other issues aside from that. Another good thing I want to point out is the dropper post. I think it's an Intense brand, and it's really nice. It's super smooth. Haven't had any issues with it yet, and I'm actually really stoked on that. So those are the main things that I find to be good on this bike, aside from the size and being really maneuverable. I just feel really at home on it. Maybe it's because I was on the carbine before, but it does feel really solid. Now we're gonna move on to the bad. There's not that much. One of the things, I don't know if it's really even to do with the drivetrain, but I drop my chain a ton. So I know if you guys watch my videos, you'll see that almost every ride I've done, I've dropped my chain. This keeps happening. Oh, my chain is off. Woo! My chain is off. So I don't know what the issue is, but that's one of the bad things I'm going to point out. It doesn't come with the chain guard, so keep dropping my chain. Second thing I'm going to point out is the wheels. So obviously you get what you pay for, so I don't know if you could really even complain, but the hub engagement just completely sucks, and the E13 wheels are already thrashed. I've had the bike for 2 months and I already need to replace my rear wheel. So I have had a history of messing up wheels, so I don't know if it's just me. I do run 30 pounds in the rear. I choose my lines. I know I do ride aggressive, so it may just be me, but I would have like to have better wheels. Now that I just got done talking about the wheels, I was trying to think of anything else that I've had issues with on this bike or anything that I don't like on it. And honestly, I think those are just the two things that I would mainly complain about, which are dropping the chain because of obviously not having a chain guard and having the cheaper wheels. But again, you get what you pay for. I'm sure if you're gonna look at another brand, you might find something comparable. If it's not the E13 wheels, it's gonna be a cheaper set of wheels. That's gonna wrap it up for the goods and the bads on this bike. Obviously there's a lot more good than bad, and the bad things can be changed, just like the wheels. Once I upgrade them, I'm gonna be even happier with the bike. So that's something you could do when you're buying a lower end bike. Obviously upgrade it as you go if you don't have the money to spend right away. But it's been solid so far. I'll probably do another review in a few months. I would definitely recommend buying this bike if you are interested. I've had a ton of people asking me to do this review, so if there's anything else that I didn't get to, make sure to comment down below. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys soon.